You wake up every morning telling yourself that today will be different. You scroll through social media, seeing others live the life you secretly crave, and you whisper the same lie you've been telling yourself for years. I'm working on it. But deep down, you know you're not working on anything. You're waiting for the right moment, the right opportunity, the perfect circumstances. And while you wait, poverty continues to make itself at home in your mind. I am Solomon, and I have watched empires rise and fall. I have seen men with nothing become kings, and kings with everything lose it all in a single decision. The difference was never their circumstances. It was never their background, their education, or even their resources. The difference was what they chose to plant in the garden of their mind. You see, poverty is not about money. Poverty is a way of thinking that has taken residence in your soul. It speaks to you every morning, convincing you that you're not ready, that you don't deserve more, that dreams are for other people. And every day you listen to this voice, you're choosing to remain exactly where you are. But today, God is revealing to you the same key He once showed Napoleon Hill, the key that separates those who live in abundance from those who die in want. This is not about positive thinking or empty affirmations. This is about becoming a completely different person. The person who doesn't just dream about wealth, but who thinks, acts, and operates from a place of abundance even before they see a single coin. Your old self dies today. The person who makes excuses, who waits for permission, who hopes someone else will solve their problems. That person has served their time. Now you must choose to become someone who understands that prosperity is not a gift that falls from heaven, but a harvest that comes from seeds you plant with your own hands in the soil of your own mind. This is your moment of decision. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready. Right now. Because the God who made you rich in potential is tired of watching you live poor in practice. If you're ready to bury your old identity and be reborn as someone who attracts abundance like a magnet attracts metal, then subscribe to this channel. Because what you're about to learn will change not just your bank account, but the very essence of who you are. Number 1. Mindset as the foundation of wealth. You look at your bank account and wonder why the numbers never change. You work, you try, you even pray, but prosperity seems to dance just beyond your reach. Here is the truth that will shatter everything you believe about money. Your poverty is not in your wallet. Your poverty lives in your mind, and it has made itself so comfortable there that you mistake its voice for your own. I am Solomon, and I have seen the rise and fall of kingdoms. The secret that separated the prosperous from the poor was never their circumstances, their birth, or their luck. It was the kingdom they built between their ears. A prosperous mind is not one that dreams of wealth. It is one that thinks, breathes, and operates from abundance, even when the bank account shows zero. Your mind is like a radio that has been tuned to the frequency of scarcity for so long that you believe this is the only station that exists. Every morning, this station broadcasts the same program. You don't have enough. You never will have enough. People like you don't become wealthy. And every day you listen to this programming, you become its most loyal subscriber. But millions of people this very year will break free from this mental prison. They will not inherit fortunes or win lotteries. They will simply decide that their mind deserves a different program. They will tune into the frequency of abundance and discover that wealth was always available. They just weren't listening to the right station. Picture your mind as a vast, fertile field. For years, you have been planting seeds of limitation. I can't afford it. That's not for people like me. Money is hard to come. These seeds have grown into a harvest of scarcity that surrounds you everywhere you look. But the same field that grew weeds can grow flowers. The same mind that created poverty can create prosperity. There was once a man who came to me, his clothes worn, his spirit broken. He said, "Solomon, I have prayed for wealth, but God does not hear my prayers." I asked him, "When you pray for money, what do you see in your mind?" He answered, "I see my empty hands." I told him, then you are not praying for wealth. You are praying for poverty with religious words. The next day I made him stand in my treasury. I said, "Now pray again, but this time see these golden coins flowing through your hands like water. Feel the weight of prosperity in your palms. Smell the scent of success in the air." When he prayed with the image of abundance in his mind, something inside him shifted. Within 1 year, he returned to me, not as a beggar, but as a merchant. Your transformation begins the moment you understand this. Prosperity is not something you achieve. It is something you become. You do not work your way to wealth. You think your way to wealth, then work from that place of inner abundance. The wealthy person is not someone who has money. The wealthy person is someone who has the mind that attracts money. Every morning when you wake, you face a choice that will determine your entire day, your entire year, your entire life. You can choose to think like someone who lives in scarcity, or you can choose to think like someone who lives in abundance. This choice is not about pretending or wishful thinking. This choice is about recognizing that your thoughts are the architects of your reality. Stop waiting for your circumstances to change so you can think differently. Start thinking differently so your circumstances must change. Your mind is not a passenger in your life. It is the driver. And today, you take back control of the wheel. Number 2, limiting beliefs and cultural influence. The chains that bind you to poverty are not made of metal. They are made of words whispered into your ear since childhood, polished until they shine like truth. Money is the root of all evil. Rich people are greedy. Humble people should be content with little. These are not God's words. These are the words of a system that profits from your smallness. I have walked among the wealthy and the poor, and I tell you this: the greatest thieves are not those who steal gold from your purse. The greatest thieves are those who steal dreams from your mind. They teach you that wanting prosperity is selfish, that desiring abundance is sinful, that remaining small is virtuous. They sell you poverty and call it humility. True humility is not living with less than you can manage. True humility is managing well what you have been given, so you can be trusted with more. The servant who buries his talent in the ground and returns it unchanged is not humble. He is afraid. The servant who multiplies his talent and returns it increased is not greedy. He is faithful. Your culture has taught you to apologize for wanting more. You have been programmed to feel guilty for dreaming of wealth, to feel shame for desiring success, to feel selfish for wanting abundance. But tell me, how does your poverty serve anyone? How does your struggle help your family? How does your lack contribute to the world? Imagine a garden where the gardener has been told that flowers are selfish, that only weeds are humble. Season after season, he pulls up every bloom and nurtures every weed, believing this makes him virtuous. What happens to such a garden? It becomes a wasteland. This is what happens to a life governed by the false humility of limitation. I once knew a woman who could heal with her hands. Her touch could ease pain, her presence could bring peace. But she had been taught that charging for her gift was wrong, that helping others meant helping herself last. So she worked for free, giving all her time to others until she had no time to heal her own body, no money to feed her own children. She was not serving God. She was serving the lie that sacrifice means self-destruction. The day she decided to value her gift, to charge what it was worth, to prosper through her service, everything changed. Not only did she provide for her family, but she could afford better training, better tools, better care for herself. Her prosperity made her a better healer. Her wealth allowed her to serve more people, not fewer. This is the truth that will set you free. God did not design you to live in want. God designed you to live in purpose, and purpose properly applied always leads to provision. The system that tells you otherwise does not speak for heaven. It speaks for those who benefit from your limitation. Your breakthrough begins when you recognize that these limiting beliefs are not yours. They were planted in your mind before you could choose, watered by repetition until they felt like truth. But a lie repeated 1,000 times is still a lie. Today, you have the power to uproot these weeds and plant new seeds. Stop apologizing for wanting abundance. Stop feeling guilty for desiring prosperity. Stop believing that your poverty serves anyone's purpose except those who profit from it. You were not born to be small. You were not created to live in lack. You were designed to flourish, and your flourishing is not a sin. It is a responsibility. Number 3, personal responsibility and attitude change. You stand at the edge of your old life, looking across the chasm toward everything you claim to want. But instead of building a bridge, you build excuses. The economy is bad. I don't have the right connections. The system is rigged. Meanwhile, others with the same economy, the same system, the same challenges are crossing over to prosperity while you remain trapped on the side of complaints. Personal responsibility is not a burden. It is liberation. The moment you stop blaming circumstances, other people, and past mistakes for your current condition is the moment you reclaim your power to change that condition. Every excuse you make is a vote for your limitations. Every time you take responsibility, you cast a vote for your transformation. I have observed something profound in my years of wisdom. Those who succeed and those who fail often face identical circumstances. The difference is never what happens to them. The difference is what they choose to do about what happens to them. One person sees an obstacle and turns back. Another person sees the same obstacle and finds a way over, under, around, or through it. Your comfort zone has become your prison zone. You have decorated it so beautifully that you mistake its bars for furniture. You tell yourself you are being practical when you are actually being fearful. You call it being realistic when you are really being limited. But comfort zones have a cruel truth. Nothing ever grows there. Picture a seed buried in dark soil. It has two choices: remain comfortable in the darkness or push through the earth toward the light. The comfortable seed never becomes a tree. The comfortable seed rots in safety. Only the seed that breaks through discomfort, that pushes against resistance, that fights for growth, ever reaches its potential. There was a young man who came to me with a business idea that could change his village. He had studied, planned, prepared everything perfectly. But weeks passed, then months, and he had not acted. When I asked him why, he said, "I am waiting for the right moment when I feel ready, when the conditions are perfect." I told him, the graveyard is full of people who were waiting for the right moment. The right moment is always now. The decision that changes everything is not the decision to succeed someday. It is the decision to act today. It is the decision to take one imperfect step forward rather than taking no steps at all. It is the decision to be uncomfortable in the direction of your dreams rather than comfortable in the direction of your fears. Your old self dies hard. It will whisper every reason why you should wait, why you should reconsider, why you should play it safe. It will remind you of every past failure, every criticism you have received, every time you tried and did not succeed. This voice is not protecting you, it is imprisoning you. But today, you have the opportunity to silence that voice with action. Not perfect action, not guaranteed action, but courageous action. The person you are becoming does not wait for permission from the person you used to be. The person you are becoming does not need approval from those who chose to remain where you are leaving. Your transformation is not a gift that comes to you. It is a decision you make daily. Every morning, you must choose again. Will you take responsibility for creating the life you want, or will you hand that responsibility to circumstances, to other people, to chance? The choice is always yours, and the time to choose is always now. Stop waiting for your life to change and start changing your life. The bridge between where you are and where you want to be is built with daily decisions, consistent actions, and unwavering personal responsibility. Number 4, discipline and consistent action. You consume motivation like a hungry man consumes bread, but consumption without digestion only creates fullness, not nourishment. You listen to speeches, read books, watch videos, and feel inspired for hours, sometimes days. But inspiration without application is just entertainment wearing the costume of transformation. Discipline is the bridge between intention and achievement, between knowing and becoming, between dreaming and living. It is not the enemy of freedom. It is the creator of freedom. The disciplined mind is free from the chaos of impulse. The disciplined life is free from the prison of procrastination. Every morning, discipline offers you a choice. It does not offer you an easy choice or a comfortable choice. It offers you the choice to do what needs to be done regardless of how you feel about doing it. This is the choice that separates those who change their lives from those who only talk about changing their lives. You have mistaken discipline for punishment, but discipline is actually love. It is love for your future self, expressed through present action. When you act with discipline today, you are serving the person you are becoming. When you avoid discipline today, you are betraying the person you claim you want to become. Think of water shaping stone. A single drop of water cannot carve through rock, but millions of drops, falling consistently in the same place, can create canyons. Your daily disciplines are like those drops of water. One day of discipline cannot transform your life, but 1,000 days of discipline can move mountains. I once knew a scribe who dreamed of writing the greatest book in the kingdom. Every day, he would sit with his papyrus and think about the magnificent words he would write. He would imagine the praise, the recognition, the legacy. But when the time came to write, he would find excuses. The light was wrong. The mood was not perfect. He needed more inspiration. Years passed. His book remained a dream because he confused thinking about writing with actually writing. Another scribe with far less talent decided to write 1 page every day, regardless of how he felt, regardless of whether the words seemed beautiful, regardless of whether inspiration visited him. Some days his writing was poor. Some days it was ordinary, but some days magic flowed from his pen. At the end of 1 year, he had written a book. At the end of 5 years, he had mastered his craft. Discipline is not about perfection. It is about consistency. It is not about feeling motivated. It is about acting regardless of motivation. The disciplined person does not wait for the right mood, the right moment, the right circumstances. The disciplined person creates the right results through right actions, repeated daily. Your transformation lives in the boring moments. It lives in the early morning when you do not want to wake up, but you wake up anyway. It lives in the evening when you do not want to plan tomorrow, but you plan anyway. It lives in the small, unglamorous, unwitnessed acts of consistency that no one applauds but everyone eventually notices. Stop waiting to feel like taking action. Start taking action until you feel like the person who takes action. Your feelings follow your actions, not the other way around. When you act with discipline, you begin to feel disciplined. When you act with purpose, you begin to feel purposeful. The person you are becoming is built one disciplined choice at a time, one consistent action at a time, one day at a time. There are no shortcuts to this building process, but there is also no limit to what can be built through it. Number 5, preparation and valuing the little. You pray for 1,000,000, but you cannot manage 100. You ask for a river, but you waste the drops. You dream of abundance while despising what you already have, not understanding that contempt for little guarantees you will never be trusted with much. God does not reward chaos with abundance. Heaven does not pour blessings into broken vessels. The universe does not multiply what is neglected, wasted, or taken for granted. Your preparation is not just about getting ready for prosperity. Your preparation is the magnet that attracts prosperity. Look at your current life with the eyes of truth. How do you treat your time? Do you guard it like the precious resource it is, or do you scatter it like dust in the wind? How do you treat your money, however little? Do you direct it with purpose, or does it disappear without you knowing where it went? How do you treat your opportunities? Do you maximize them, or do you barely notice them? The way you handle little reveals whether you are ready for much. The way you manage what you have today determines what you will be trusted with tomorrow. Excellence in small things is the training ground for excellence in great things. Imagine a king choosing a treasurer for his kingdom. Two candidates stand before him. The first speaks eloquently about managing millions, but his own purse is empty because he cannot track where his coins go. The second quietly manages his small savings with precision, knowing exactly how much he has, where it comes from, and where it goes. Which treasurer would you trust with a kingdom's wealth? Your life is your small kingdom, and how you rule it determines whether you will be given a larger one. Every dollar you earn, every hour you spend, every opportunity you encounter is a test of your readiness for greater responsibility. I once observed a merchant who complained that God had not blessed his business. He prayed daily for more customers, more profit, more success. But when I watched him work, I saw a man who arrived late, served without care, and counted his money carelessly. He swept his shop poorly, treated his tools roughly, and spoke to his few customers with indifference. He wanted God to bless his business, but he had not blessed his business with his own excellence. Another merchant in the same market had fewer advantages but greater discipline. He arrived first every morning. He cleaned his stall until it gleamed. He arranged his goods like jewels. He treated every customer like royalty, whether they bought much or little. He counted every coin with gratitude. Within 2 years, his small stall had grown into the largest shop in the market. Your preparation is not just about the future. It is about today. It is about bringing excellence to this moment, this task, this opportunity, this small responsibility that sits before you right now. When you serve the present moment with excellence, you prepare yourself to serve greater moments with greater excellence. Stop despising small beginnings. Stop overlooking small opportunities. Stop wasting small resources. The person who cannot be faithful in little cannot be trusted with much. But the person who brings greatness to small things will discover that small things have a way of becoming great things. Value what you have, and what you have will multiply. Despise what you have, and even what you have will be taken away. This is not cruelty, this is wisdom. The universe expands what is appreciated and contracts what is neglected. Number 6, purpose and talent development. You are not born by accident. You were not placed on this earth to wander aimlessly, consuming resources without contributing value. Hidden within you lies a unique combination of gifts, talents, and capabilities that the world desperately needs. Your poverty is not evidence of your worthlessness. It is evidence that you have not yet discovered and developed the treasure buried within your own soul. Purpose is not a luxury for the privileged few. Purpose is the birthright of every human being. It is the reason you wake up with energy, the force that drives you through obstacles, the compass that guides you through confusion. Without purpose, you drift. With purpose, you navigate toward destiny. Your talents are not random. They are not cosmic jokes or cruel tricks. They are divine investments placed in your care to be multiplied and shared. The ability to communicate that comes so naturally to you is not common. It is your gift to develop. The way you can see solutions that others miss is not ordinary. It is your talent to refine. The ease with which you create, organize, lead, or heal is not accidental. It is your assignment. But gifts unused become graves. Talents buried do not earn interest. The songwriter who never writes songs serves no one. The teacher who never teaches changes no lives. The leader who never leads leaves people without direction. Your undeveloped talent is not just your loss, it is the world's loss. Picture a master craftsman with a workshop full of the finest tools, but he spends his days complaining about having no money instead of using his tools to create valuable things. The tools do not lack power. The craftsman lacks awareness of the power within his reach. You are that craftsman, and your talents are those tools. There was once a woman who could make people laugh in their darkest moments. Her humor was not cheap entertainment, it was healing medicine. But she had been told that comedy was not a real job, that laughter was not a valuable service. So she worked in occupations that drained her soul and paid her little, all while her gift remained locked away. One day, desperate and discouraged, she decided to trust her talent. She began performing her comedy in small venues, then larger ones. Within 3 years, her gift had not only made her wealthy but had healed thousands of broken hearts. Your talents are seeking expression through you. They want to serve, to solve problems, to create value, to change lives. But they cannot force you to use them. They can only wait for you to recognize them, develop them, and courageously offer them to the world. The development of talent requires more than recognition. It requires cultivation. A gifted athlete who never trains remains an amateur. A natural teacher who never studies becomes ineffective. A born leader who never learns to lead serves poorly. Your raw talent is the seed. Your dedication to improvement is the water and sunlight that help it grow. Stop hiding your light under the bushel of false humility. Stop burying your treasure in the ground of fear. Stop waiting for permission to become who you were created to be. The world is not waiting for you to be perfect. The world is waiting for you to be authentic, to offer your unique gifts with courage and consistency. Your purpose is not a mystery to be solved. It is a path to be walked. Step by step, day by day, choice by choice, you discover it by living it. And as you develop your talents and align them with service to others, you will find that prosperity follows purpose as naturally as fruit follows the flower. Number 7. Excellence and consistency in service. The world is crowded with people doing just enough to get by, offering just enough effort to avoid criticism, serving just enough to meet the minimum requirement. In this sea of mediocrity, excellence shines like a beacon in the darkness. Excellence is not about perfection. It is about giving your absolute best to whatever task is in front of you, regardless of who is watching or how much you are being paid. When you serve others with excellence, you are not just completing a task, you are making an investment. You are investing in your own character, your reputation, your future opportunities, and your inner sense of worth. Every act of excellence is a deposit in the bank of your destiny. Excellence is not expensive. Mediocrity is expensive. Excellence might cost you extra effort, extra time, extra attention to detail, but mediocrity costs you respect, opportunities, growth, and ultimately, the life you could have lived. The person who serves excellently today becomes the person everyone seeks tomorrow. You have been taught to do as little as possible while expecting as much as possible in return. This is the mathematics of poverty. The mathematics of prosperity is the opposite. Give more than you are asked to give. Serve better than you are paid to serve. Deliver more value than you are compensated for. And watch how the universe responds to your generosity. Think of a master chef and a careless cook, both preparing the same meal. The careless cook uses adequate ingredients, follows the recipe loosely, and serves food that satisfies hunger. The master chef selects the finest ingredients, follows each step with precision, presents the dish like art, and creates an experience that nourishes both body and soul. Who do you think builds a reputation? Who do you think builds wealth? I once knew 2 carpenters who worked side by side. Both had similar skills and similar opportunities. The first carpenter worked quickly, cutting corners when he could, focusing only on finishing the job and collecting his payment. His work was adequate, his reputation was ordinary, and his income remained the same year after year. The second carpenter approached each project as if he were building for royalty. He selected each piece of wood carefully, measured twice and cut once, sanded until the surface was silk, and finished each joint perfectly. Word of his excellence spread. Soon, he was building palaces, while the first was still building basic shelters. Excellence is not about impressing others, though it often does. Excellence is about expressing the greatness that lives within you. When you serve with excellence, you honor the gifts you have been given. When you work with excellence, you worship through your labor. When you deliver excellence, you declare that you are worth more than mediocrity. Consistency transforms good work into great reputation. One excellent performance might be noticed, but consistent excellence becomes your signature. People do not remember the job you did well once. They remember the standard of quality you maintain always. Stop comparing your service to others' service. Comparison is the enemy of excellence because it tempts you to lower your standards to match theirs. Instead, compare your service today to your service yesterday. Strive to serve a little better, work a little more carefully, deliver a little more value with each opportunity. Excellence is a choice available to everyone, regardless of their circumstances, their resources, or their current position. You can choose excellence while washing dishes, answering phones, or sweeping floors. Excellence is not about what you do. Excellence is about how you do what you do. The person who serves with excellence never lacks opportunities for advancement. The person who delivers consistent quality never struggles to find customers. The person who approaches every task with the commitment to do it better than it has been done before writes their own recommendation letter for prosperity. Number 8, resilience and overcoming fear. Fear has convinced you that failure is your enemy, but failure is actually your teacher. Every successful person you admire has failed more times than you have even tried. The difference between them and those who remain stuck is not that they never fall. It is that they never stay down. You have been programmed to avoid risk, to seek safety, to choose the path that guarantees no failure. But the path that guarantees no failure also guarantees no growth, no breakthrough, no transformation. Safety is the most dangerous place to live because nothing extraordinary ever happens in the realm of guaranteed outcomes. Fear of judgment has become your prison warden, deciding what you can attempt, what you can risk, what you can dream. You have given other people's opinions more power over your life than your own desires. You have allowed the possibility of criticism to become more real than the possibility of success. But let me tell you what I have learned about criticism. It comes regardless of what you do. If you play small, they will criticize you for wasting your potential. If you play big, they will criticize you for thinking too highly of yourself. If you succeed, they will say you were lucky. If you fail, they will say they knew it all along. The choice is not whether to face criticism. The choice is whether to face it while pursuing your dreams or while living in regret. Resilience is not about being so strong that you never fall. Resilience is about becoming so skilled at getting back up that falling loses its power to stop you. Every time you fall and rise again, you build the muscle of persistence. Every time you face fear and act anyway, you expand your capacity for courage. I remember a young merchant who lost his entire fortune in a single failed venture. He came to me, broken and ashamed, convinced that this failure proved he was not meant for success. I asked him, "What did this failure teach you that success could never have taught you?" He listed lessons about planning, about partnerships, about managing risk. I said, "Then this failure was not your enemy, it was your education. Now you know things that your competitors do not know. Now you have wisdom that money cannot buy." He rebuilt his business with the knowledge his failure had given him. His second attempt was more successful than his first ever could have been because it was built on the foundation of hard-won wisdom rather than blind optimism. Fear whispers lies about what might happen, but it never tells you about what definitely will happen if you let fear make your choices. If you let fear choose your career, you will definitely live with unfulfilled potential. If you let fear choose your relationships, you will definitely live with loneliness. If you let fear choose your dreams, you will definitely live with regret. The cure for fear is not the absence of risk. The cure for fear is the presence of purpose. When your why is strong enough, your fears become irrelevant. When your purpose is clear enough, Obstacles become stepping stones rather than roadblocks. Stop waiting for fearlessness before you act. Fearlessness is not the absence of fear. Fearlessness is action in the presence of fear. Courage is not about not being afraid. Courage is about being afraid and moving forward anyway. Your resilience is built one choice at a time. Every time you choose progress over comfort, courage over fear, action over hesitation, you become more resilient. Every time you fall and get back up, you prove to yourself and to the universe that you are serious about your transformation. The person you are becoming is forged in the fire of challenge, shaped by the hammer of difficulty, refined by the pressure of obstacles. Embrace the process, because the process is creating someone worthy of the success you seek. Number 9, the mind is a garden. Your mind is the most fertile ground in the universe, and like any garden, it will grow whatever seeds you plant in it. The tragedy is that most people spend their entire lives planting weeds and wondering why they cannot harvest flowers. Every thought you think is a seed. Every word you speak waters those seeds. Every image you hold in your mind provides sunlight for growth. You cannot plant seeds of doubt and harvest confidence. You cannot plant seeds of fear and harvest courage. You cannot plant seeds of poverty and harvest abundance. The law of the garden is absolute. You reap what you sow, and you sow with every thought you think. For too long, you have allowed others to plant in your garden. Your parents planted their fears. Your friends planted their limitations. Society planted its expectations. The media planted its anxieties. You have become a gardener tending other people's crops in your own mind, and then wondering why your life does not reflect your desires. Today, you reclaim ownership of your mental garden. Today, you decide what grows in the soil of your consciousness. This is not positive thinking. This is purposeful thinking. This is not denial of reality. This is creation of reality through the disciplined cultivation of thoughts that serve your highest purpose. Watch your thoughts as carefully as a gardener watches his crops. When you notice a thought of limitation, pull it up by the roots immediately. When you catch yourself thinking, "I cannot afford this," replace it with, "I am finding a way to afford this." When you hear yourself saying, "I am not good enough," immediately plant the seed of "I am becoming everything I need to become." Imagine two gardens side by side. In the first garden, the gardener plants whatever seed falls from passing birds, allows weeds to grow freely, waters everything equally, and hopes for the best. This garden becomes a chaos of unwanted growth. In the second garden, the gardener carefully selects each seed, removes weeds the moment they appear, waters only what he wants to grow, and tends his garden with daily attention. This garden becomes a masterpiece of intentional beauty. I once met a woman whose life was a constant struggle, though she worked hard and meant well. When I listened to her speak, I understood why. Every sentence was a seed of limitation. I never have enough money. Good things don't happen to people like me. I always have bad luck. She was the most dedicated gardener of misery I had ever encountered, planting and watering thoughts that could only produce the harvest of struggle she complained about. I asked her to spend 1 week speaking only words that described the life she wanted, not the life she had. Instead of "I never have enough money," she would say, "Money flows to me easily." Instead of "I always have bad luck," she would say, "I am blessed with good fortune." Within 1 month, her circumstances began to shift. Within 6 months, her life was transformed. She had changed her harvest by changing her seeds. Your thoughts are not random visitors that you must entertain. Your thoughts are employees that you can hire or fire at will. You do not have to think every thought that appears in your mind. You have the power to choose which thoughts you feed and which thoughts you starve. The disciplined mind is like a master gardener who rises early to tend his crops, who removes weeds before they take root, who waters only what serves his purpose, who harvests with gratitude and immediately plants seeds for the next season. This is the daily work of mental cultivation. Stop being a victim of your own thinking. Start being the master of your mental garden. Plant thoughts of abundance, water them with emotion, give them sunlight through repetition, and prepare to harvest a life that matches the beauty of your inner landscape. Number 10. Mental organization and define purpose. Chaos in your mind creates chaos in your life. A scattered brain produces scattered results. An unfocused mind attracts unfocused opportunities. The difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who merely dream them is the presence of organization in the invisible realm of thought. Your mind without purpose is like a ship without a destination. It may sail beautifully, it may work perfectly, but it will never arrive anywhere meaningful. Purpose is not just inspiration, purpose is navigation. It tells your subconscious mind what to notice, what to pursue, what to accept, and what to reject. Most people live their entire lives without ever defining what they actually want. They know what they don't want, they can describe what they lack, they can explain what frustrates them. But if you ask them to clearly state what they desire, they speak in vague generalities. I want to be happy. I want to be successful. I want to be wealthy. These are not purposes, these are wishes. A defined purpose is specific, measurable, and written down. It is not, I want to be rich, but I will earn $100,000 through my business by December 31st. It is not, I want to be successful, but I will become the top salesperson in my company within 12 months. Vague goals create vague results. Clear purposes create clear pathways. The organized mind asks better questions, and better questions produce better answers. Instead of asking, why can't I succeed? The organized mind asks, what specific actions must I take to succeed? Instead of wondering, when will things get better? The organized mind asks, how will I make things better today? Picture two travelers starting the same journey. The first traveler knows he wants to reach a beautiful destination, but has no map, no plan, no specific address. He wanders from road to road, hoping to stumble upon his desired location. The second traveler has a precise address, a detailed map, a planned route, and a scheduled arrival time. Which traveler do you think reaches his destination? There was once a young man who dreamed of building schools for children who could not afford education. For years, he spoke passionately about this dream, but nothing happened. When I asked him about his plan, he had none. When I asked him how much money he needed, he did not know. When I asked him when he would begin, he said someday. I gave him a piece of papyrus and told him to write down exactly what he wanted to accomplish, by when and how. That act of writing transformed a vague dream into a concrete purpose. Within 2 years, he had built his first school. Writing your purpose is not just record keeping, it is reality creating. When you write your goals by hand, you engage your physical body in the creation process. You move your purpose from the invisible realm of thought into the visible realm of words. Your subconscious mind responds differently to written goals than to mental wishes. Every morning before you begin your day, read your written purpose aloud. Let these words remind your mind what deserves your attention, your energy, your decisions. Every evening before you sleep, review your progress toward your purpose. What actions did you take today that moved you closer? What actions will you take tomorrow to continue the progress? Organization is not about perfection. It is about direction. It is not about having all the answers. It is about asking the right questions. An organized mind with a defined purpose will find ways to succeed that a disorganized mind could never imagine. Stop living by accident and start living by design. Stop hoping for the best and start planning for greatness. Your life is too valuable to be left to chance, and your potential is too great to be wasted on random activity. Number 11. Routine and habits aligned with dreams. Your dreams live in the future, but your habits live in the present. And it is your present habits that determine whether your future dreams become reality or remain fantasy. Every morning, you stand at the intersection of routine and possibility. The path you choose to walk daily is the path that leads to your destination. A routine aligned with your dreams is like a river flowing toward the ocean. Each day's actions, however small, carry you closer to your ultimate destination. A routine misaligned with your dreams is like a river flowing away from the ocean. No matter how hard you work, you arrive further from where you want to be. You have been taught that routine is boring, that habits are limiting, that spontaneity is freedom. But observe the most successful people in any field, and you will discover that their freedom comes through routine, not despite it. The disciplined athlete is free to perform at levels the undisciplined athlete cannot reach. The organized businessperson is free to create opportunities that the disorganized person never sees. Your current routine is perfectly designed to produce your current results. If you want different results, you must design a different routine. You cannot keep doing the same things daily and expect your life to change. Change your habits, and your habits will change your life. Look honestly at how you spend your days. Do your daily actions support your stated dreams, or do they contradict them? If you dream of wealth but spend your evenings watching television instead of learning about money, your routine is voting against your dreams. If you dream of health but start each day with unhealthy choices, your habits are defeating your hopes. Think of a master musician and a wishful musician. Both may have the same dream of performing beautiful music. The wishful musician talks about music, listens to music, and imagines playing music, but does not practice daily. The master musician may talk less about music, but practices daily, studies daily, and improves daily. After 1 year, who do you think plays more beautifully? I once observed two men with identical dreams of building successful businesses. The first man read business books occasionally, attended networking events when he felt motivated, and worked on his business when inspiration struck. His business grew slowly and inconsistently. The second man read for 30 minutes every morning, made 10 sales calls every afternoon, and reviewed his progress every evening. His routine was simple but consistent. Within 18 months, his business had grown 10 times larger than the first man's. Excellence is not an act but a habit. You do not accidentally become excellent. You become excellent through the repeated choice to do excellent things. Your habits are either building the person you want to become or maintaining the person you have always been. The power of routine lies not in any single action, but in the compound effect of consistent actions over time. Reading one page does not make you wise, but reading one page daily for 1 year transforms your mind. Saving $1 does not make you wealthy, but saving consistently for many years builds fortunes. Making one contact does not build your network, but making one contact daily creates unlimited opportunities. Start small, but start today. Choose one habit that aligns with your dreams and commit to it for 30 days. Do not try to change everything at once. Try to change one thing completely. When that habit becomes automatic, add another. Build your dream routine one habit at a time. Your routine is your daily vote for the person you are becoming. Every habit is either moving you toward your dreams or away from them. There is no neutral ground. Choose your habits as carefully as you would choose your destination, because your habits are the vehicle that will take you there. Number 12. Intelligent faith and mental reprogramming. Faith without intelligence is wishful thinking. Intelligence without faith is powerless analysis. But intelligent faith combines belief with action, hope with planning, trust with preparation. This is the force that transforms dreams into reality and turns possibility into inevitability. Your words have been programming your reality for years, but you have not been conscious of the program you have been writing. Every time you say, "I can't afford it," you program scarcity. Every time you say, "That's just my luck," you program victimhood. Every time you say, "I always struggle with money," you program poverty. Your subconscious mind believes every word you speak about yourself and works tirelessly to make those words true. but you can reprogram your reality by reprogramming your speech. Your words are not just communication, they are creation. They do not just describe your world, they design your world. When you change how you speak about your life, you begin to change your life itself. Instead of saying, "I don't have enough money," say, "I'm attracting more money every day." Instead of saying, "I always have bad luck," say, "I am blessed with increasing good fortune." Instead of saying, "I can't do this," say, "I am learning how to do this." These are not lies you tell yourself. These are truths you speak into existence. Intelligent faith corrects negative thoughts the moment they appear. When your mind offers the thought, "This will never work," intelligent faith immediately responds, "This is working perfectly." When fear whispers, "You will fail," intelligent faith declares, "I am succeeding step by step." This is not denial. This is direction. You are directing your mind toward the outcomes you desire rather than the outcomes you fear. Picture your mind as a computer that has been running faulty software for years. This software tells you that success is for other people, that wealth is beyond your reach, that dreams are impractical. Intelligent faith is like installing new software that tells you success is your natural state, that wealth flows to you easily, that dreams are blueprints for reality. There was once a farmer who planted seeds during a drought. His neighbors mocked him, saying, "Why are you planting when there is no rain?" The farmer replied, "I am not planting for today's weather. I am planting for tomorrow's harvest." He watered his seeds from his well, he protected them from the sun, and he tended them with faith that rain would come. When the rains finally came, he was the only farmer ready to benefit. His harvest fed the entire village. Intelligent faith plants seeds of positive words, even when current circumstances suggest those words are premature. It speaks about abundance during seasons of lack, declares health during times of weakness, and proclaims success in moments of apparent failure. This is not foolishness. This is farming the future with present words. Every morning when you wake, your first words should program your day for success. Say aloud, "Today I act as someone who has already achieved my dreams. Today I think as someone who lives in abundance. Today I serve as someone worthy of great rewards." These words are not describing your current reality. They are creating your future reality. Every evening before you sleep, review your mental programming. Did you speak words that support your dreams or words that sabotage them? Did you think thoughts that empower you or thoughts that limit you? Intelligent faith requires daily maintenance of your mental software. Your transformation begins in your mouth and is completed in your actions. Speak like the person you are becoming, think like the person you are becoming, and act like the person you are becoming, and you will discover that becoming is not a destination but a daily practice. Number 13. Daily Transformation Ritual. Your transformation is not an event that happens once. It is a ritual that happens daily. Every morning, you have the opportunity to die to who you were yesterday and be born as who you choose to become today. This is not philosophy. This is practical spirituality applied to the art of becoming. The first moments after you wake are the most important moments of your day because they set the frequency for everything that follows. In those quiet moments before the world demands your attention, you have the power to program your mind, direct your energy, and choose your identity for the next 24 hours. Before you check your phone, before you think about your problems, before you remember your limitations, declare your purpose aloud. Say with conviction, "Today I act as someone who has already won. Today I think as someone who lives in abundance. Today I serve as someone worthy of prosperity." These words are not affirmations, they are assignments. You are assigning your mind the role it will play today. Your day needs structure, or it will be structured by circumstances, by other people's demands, by random events that pull you in every direction except the direction of your dreams. Plan 3 specific actions that will move you closer to your goals today. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready. Today. Write these 3 actions on paper. The act of writing engages your body in the commitment process. Your hand, your eyes, and your mind all participate in creating the plan. This physical act makes your intentions more real than thoughts alone ever could. Throughout the day, when distractions call and obstacles appear, return to this written plan. It is your anchor in the storm of daily chaos. Think of a master craftsman beginning his work each day. He does not start randomly hammering or cutting. He first examines his tools, reviews his plan, visualizes the finished product, and then begins with purposeful action. Your day deserves the same intentional beginning. There was once a merchant who struggled for years to build his business. Every day, he would wake and react to whatever problems appeared, whatever customers complained, whatever crises demanded his attention. His business grew slowly because his attention was scattered. Then he learned the power of daily ritual. Every morning, he would spend the first hour planning his day, identifying his priorities, and visualizing his success. Instead of reacting to his business, he began directing his business. Within 1 year, his profits had tripled. Your evening ritual is as important as your morning ritual. Before you sleep, review your day with gratitude and honesty. What did you accomplish today that moved you forward? What did you learn today that made you wiser? What will you do tomorrow to continue your progress? This evening review programs your subconscious mind to work on your goals while you sleep. End each day by expressing gratitude, not just for what went well, but for the opportunity to grow, to learn, to become better tomorrow than you were today. Gratitude is not just good manners, it is good strategy. A grateful mind attracts more reasons to be grateful. Persistence in small daily practices creates extraordinary long-term results. The person who follows this daily ritual for 1 month will see changes. The person who follows it for 1 year will see transformation. The person who follows it for 5 years will see a completely different life. Your daily ritual is your daily vote for the person you are becoming. Make sure you vote consistently for the right candidate. Number 14. Overcoming and persistence. There will come a day when everything inside you wants to quit. Your body will be tired, your mind will be discouraged, your spirit will feel heavy. This is not a sign that you should stop. This is a sign that you are close to a breakthrough. The moment you want to quit most is often the moment just before everything changes. Persistence is not about feeling strong. Persistence is about acting strong when you feel weak. It is not about having energy. It is about using what little energy you have for what matters most. It is not about being certain of success. It is about being committed to the process, regardless of the outcome. The world is full of people who started strong but finished weak. They began with enthusiasm, worked with passion, but quit when the initial excitement wore off and the real work began. They mistook the temporary absence of visible results for permanent failure. They stopped watering their seeds just before harvest time. You have been closer to success than you realized more times than you can count. You have quit jobs just before the promotion was announced, abandoned projects just before the breakthrough, ended relationships just before the other person was ready to commit. The tragic pattern of premature quitting has cost you more than failure ever could. But every time you persist when quitting feels logical, you build the muscle of victory. Every time you continue when stopping seems reasonable, you develop the character of a winner. Every time you take one more step when your feet want to rest, you prove to yourself and to the universe that you are serious about your transformation. Think of water wearing away stone. The water does not quit because the stone seems too hard. The water does not stop because progress seems too slow. Day after day, drop after drop, the water continues its work until the impossible becomes inevitable. Your persistence works the same way. I once knew a woman who tried to build a business 7 times. Each time, circumstances arose that seemed to make continuation impossible. Each time, people told her to accept defeat and find a regular job. Each time, she grieved the failure, learned from the mistakes, and began again. On her 8th attempt, everything she had learned from the previous 7 attempts came together perfectly. She built the largest business in her industry, not despite her failures, but because of them. Your failures have not been wasted if they have taught you what does not work. Your setbacks have not been meaningless if they have shown you what to avoid. Your disappointments have not been purposeless if they have prepared you for what is coming. The person you are becoming is forged in the fire of persistence. Every day you continue when quitting would be easier, you become stronger. Every obstacle you overcome makes you more capable of overcoming the next obstacle. Every time you persist, you build evidence that you can persist again. Your consistency in the unseen hours determines your results in the visible moments. The work you do when no one is watching creates the success that everyone notices. The efforts you make when you feel like quitting become the foundation for achievements that make quitting seem impossible. Stop measuring your progress by daily results and start measuring it by daily persistence. Some days you will advance quickly. Some days you will advance slowly. Some days you will seem to go backward. But if you persist daily, your overall trajectory will always be forward. The finish line is closer than it appears. The breakthrough is nearer than you think. The harvest is more imminent than you imagine, but you will only reach it if you refuse to quit before you arrive. Number 15. Call to action and symbolic decision. You did not find this message by accident. In a world filled with millions of distractions, billions of pieces of content, endless streams of information, you found yourself here in this moment listening to these words. This is not coincidence, this is appointment. This is not chance, this is choice. Your soul led you here because it is ready for what comes next. Every word you have heard has been preparing you for this moment of decision. Not the decision to feel better, not the decision to hope more, but the decision to become someone completely different. The person you were when you began listening to this message is not the same person you are now. Something inside you has shifted. Something inside you has awakened. Something inside you is ready to be born. But birth requires labor. Transformation requires action. Becoming requires deciding. You can listen to 1,000 messages like this one. You can feel inspired 1,000 times. You can understand these principles perfectly. But understanding without action is just entertainment. Knowledge without application is just accumulation. The universe is watching to see what you will do with what you have heard. God is waiting to see if you will honor the wisdom you have received by applying it to your life. Your future self is depending on the decision you make in this moment, because this moment is the bridge between who you have been and who you can become. Take a piece of paper right now. Not later, not tomorrow, not when you have time. Right now. Write these words with your own hand. My new life begins now. I choose abundance over scarcity. I choose action over hesitation. I choose to become someone worthy of the dreams I carry. This is not just writing, this is declaration. This is not just words on paper, this is a contract with your destiny. When you write these words with your own hand, you engage your body in the commitment process. You move your decision from the invisible realm of thought into the visible realm of action. Sign your name below these words. Date it. Keep this paper where you can see it every day. This is your birth certificate for the person you are becoming. This is your license to operate at a higher level. This is your permission slip to pursue the life you were created to live. But writing the words is only the beginning. The real transformation happens in the days that follow, when you wake up every morning and choose to act like the person who wrote those words. When you make decisions like someone who has already succeeded. When you serve like someone who understands their value. When you persist like someone who knows their victory is inevitable. Your old life is ending today. The person who made excuses, who waited for perfect conditions, who gave their power away to circumstances, that person is dying. And from that death, a new person is being born. Someone who takes responsibility, who acts with courage, who persists through difficulty, who serves with excellence, who thinks with abundance. This new person does not need anyone's permission to succeed. This new person does not wait for ideal conditions to begin. This new person does not doubt their worthiness to prosper. This new person knows that they were created for greatness and accepts the responsibility that comes with that knowledge. The choice is yours. The moment is now. The power is within you. Your new life is waiting for you to claim it, and your new life begins now. You are standing now at the edge of two worlds. Behind you lies the familiar territory of limitation, where excuses feel comfortable and dreams remain safely distant. Before you stretches the uncharted landscape of your true potential, where every step forward requires you to become someone you have never been before. The seed you planted today with your decision will not sprout overnight. It will grow in the darkness of your discipline, nourished by actions no one sees, strengthened by persistence no one applauds. But growth in darkness is still growth. Progress in silence is still progress. Transformation behind closed doors is still transformation. There will be mornings when the old voice returns, whispering familiar doubts, offering comfortable reasons to return to who you used to be. In those moments, remember that this voice is not your enemy. It is simply the guardian of your former self, afraid of being left behind. Acknowledge it with compassion, then choose to move forward anyway. Picture a river that has carved its path through rock for thousands of years. The rock does not yield easily, but the river does not ask for permission. It simply continues, day after day, drop by drop, until the impossible becomes inevitable. You are that river now. Your dreams are your destination. Your daily choices are the drops that will carve the path. The wisdom you carry now is not meant to be kept in silence. It is meant to be lived, expressed, shared through the example of your transformation. As you rise, you become a beacon for others who are still searching for the key you have found. If this journey of awakening resonates with your soul, if these words have stirred something deep within you that refuses to be silenced, then subscribe to continue walking this path of transformation together. Your commitment to growth honors not just your own potential, but the potential of everyone whose life you will touch. Every master was once a student who refused to quit learning. Every leader was once a follower who chose to step forward. Every abundant life was once a scarce life that decided to think differently. Your abundance is not a destination you will reach someday. It is a way of being you can choose today.